When I first made this building world, one of the first things I wanted to make was a large dome. But I couldn't figure out how, so it took me a while, and finally I've done it, and I would like to make a video about it to make your future of building domes easier, I guess. I'm a bozo. To begin, you're going to want to choose your block palette. Over there, this one, I used acacia wood instead of copper, which was my plan, but I don't know what happened, but I got mixed up with it and used the wrong thing instead. So if you're going to want to make like a conservatory, copper's definitely the way to go. So I prefer using this one, and copper doesn't have a smooth slab like this, so this will work just fine. And of course you can use different shades of copper to make it look a little bit better, but I'm not going to go into detailing in this one because time. Now choosing glass is a little bit harder because black stained glass and of course tinted glass are both very different. I prefer to use tinted glass even though it has a purpler hue. I just prefer the texture of it. It could be more expensive for you if you have an amethyst area, or if you're in creative, it's pretty easy to make. But some people would prefer to use pink or purple or white for some reason. Those people are weird, don't be them. So after you choose your glass, you're going to want to start out with a circle. And now circles are slightly complicated. If you don't know exactly how big you want yours to be, go into a pixel art thing and just make a circle. Normally you would do 5 long for the longest part for the small ones, but if you want a really small one, just doing 3 like this and then continuing on like that is really small, and it works just fine. But I'm going to do 5 wide for this one. That one is 9 wide. 5 is pretty small, but 9 changes a lot, and also depends on the diagonals, I guess, which are varied. Now, doing it with 5, I like to do 2, then 1, then 2 more, and going. Alright, after you finish your circle, if you do slabs, you're going to want to place whole blocks in the very center spot, and then you're going to build a semicircle the same size of this one up and around. Now, there are no half slabs, which is why I only partially advise using slabs for this part. You get what you get. They should add half slabs for multiple reasons, but this one included. This is a little bit more complicated, so usually the first side will be going up, and then you'll have, of course, the one, which makes it easier, and the second side you'll have going horizontal again. And usually I like to repeat the steps each time I do one on the other side first, because it makes it a lot easier, and if you don't connect things up properly, it just makes it a lot harder. And as you can see, I've already done something wrong, and that is right here. Alright, everything looks good. Now, if you want, you can do this again on this side. And this side is a little bit different, but it's still going to be 5 each. Alright, all of that's done now, so now you just need to fill it in with the glass. The glass is pretty easy. All you need to do is fill it up to the height of this, continue that over. This part's done, and then after that you go 1 in, and you just go up to that height. This one side's done, and some people like to go ahead and do this. I'm not a big fan of that because it's not the proper size. Now, maybe if you were to, for some reason, add slabs like, oh gosh, like this, it might look a little bit better, but I still don't like it. So I'd advise not to do that. Alright, I have finished 3 other sides, and I left the 4th one undone for reasons. But taking a look at these, you can see one thing is different. Originally, I had this entire layer up with it, which was wrong because it can't touch, it can't be any higher than those blocks right here. So I fixed that. I actually realized that while building the second one. So yeah. Now the reason I left this one undone is because conservatories, of course, have big microscopes or telescopes that go up. I'm going to make or get the blocks for it to begin with, which I don't really want to use copper or tinted glass. Now if we look at spyglass, it appears to be clear glass at the front, which will be a lot better than using tinted glass again. And looks like some gold and a wood. I think jungle wood is the closest color to it, but it's a little bit darker than that. No, acacia. Yeah, stripped acacia will work best, I think. Alright, now the really hard part about making a microscope is the angle. I finished the telescope, and as you can see, it isn't very true to the texture, but it works fine. As this isn't a tutorial for the telescope, it's a tutorial for the dome. Now, as you can see, it's taken me so long on the telescope that this has already started oxidizing. It's actually been 2 days since I built the dome. And here's a smaller dome I built for more reference, but minus the telescope. Boom, would you look at that? It has a telescope on it now. Isn't that amazing? Look at that. Look at the art. Yeah, I'm so good. That's how good I am at building. I can build each individual pixel. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something about how to build domes. Maybe took some tips on it. And I hope you now know how to not build microscopes. Goodbye.
This is who I want to say goodbye.